This video is brought to you by mywayteaching.com.
In this part, we are going to start with a new chapter. The name of the chapter is gravitation. So, this is a very important as well as very interesting concept. So, under the topic gravitation, we are going to study various concepts. So, the first we'll see the introductory part, and then we'll study about the various Kepler laws, universal law of gravitation, which is very important, and even we'll study about the gravitational constant, the value of gravitational constant g, acceleration due to gravity of the earth, as well as we'll study about the acceleration due to gravity below and above the surface of the earth, gravitational potential energy, escape speed, earth satellites, energy of an orbiting satellite, geostationary and polar satellites, and weightlessness. So, these are all the concepts that we are going to deal in this particular chapter called gravitation. So, gravitation is a very important concept. We all know whatever the earth, whatever we throw up, so earth has that gravitational force of attracting all the object towards it, isn't it? So we'll study various things about this gravitation in this particular chapter. Let us begin with the introductory part. Introduction. Early in our lives, we have the tendency of all material objects attracting towards the earth. Anything throws up falls down towards the earth, isn't it? Yes, going uphill is more difficult and tiring than going downhill. And raindrops from the clouds fall towards the earth, and there are many other such phenomena. See, historically, it was the Italian physicist whose name is Galileo. He is an Italian physicist who recognized the fact that all bodies, irrespective of their masses, are accelerated towards the earth with a constant acceleration. It is said that he made a public demonstration of this fact. To find the truth, he certainly did experiments with bodies rolling down an inclined planes and arrived at a value of the acceleration due to gravity which is very close to the more accurate value which is obtained later. So he is the first one who studied about the gravitation, and even he performed various experiments on gravitation by considering few objects which fall towards the earth in an inclined plane, and he calculated the value which was approximately very close to the acceleration due to gravity value which which we calculated or which we got later. A seemingly unrelated phenomena, it is an unrelated phenomena, observation of stars, planets and their motion has been the subject of attention in many countries since the earliest of times. See, observations since early times recognized stars which appeared in the sky with positions unchanged year after year, isn't it? The more interesting objects are the planets, which seem to have regular motions against the background of stars. The earliest recorded model for planetary motions proposed by Ptolemy about 2000 years ago was a geocentric model. Means they assume that Earth is at the center and all the planets, including the Sun, is revolving around the Earth. That is what called as geocentric, with in which all the celestial objects, stars, sun, and the planets are all revolved around the Earth. The only motion that was thought to be possible for celestial objects was motion in a circle. So, complicated schemes of motions were put forward by Ptolemy in order to describe the absurd motion of planets. The planets were described as moving in circles. The only possible motion in that particular case was a circular motion, and even these planets were described as moving in circles of the planet, with the center of the circles themselves moving in large circles. The planets are moving in circles, and again even they are moving in circles. Similar theories were also advanced by Indian astronomers some 400 years later. But the concept of geocentric theory is completely wrong, isn't it? So, after 400 years, a more elegant model in which the sun was the center around which the planets revolve, that is called as heliocentric model, was already mentioned by Aryabhatta in his treatise. 1,000 years later, a Polish monk whose name is Nicholas Copernicus proposed a definitive model in which the planets moved in circles around a fixed central sun. Okay, you can see that planetary motion in this particular figure. His theory was described by the church, but a notable amongst his supporters was Galileo, who had to face prosecution from the state for his beliefs. It was around the same time as Galileo, a nobleman called Tycho Brahe, hailing from Denmark, spent his entire lifetime recording observations of the planets with the naked eye. He used to record the observations of the planets with the naked eye. You know how difficult it is. So this Tycho Brahe is from Denmark. He made all the observations of the planets with the naked eye, and his compiled data were analyzed later by his assistant, that is Johannes Kepler. Okay, his the data which is compiled by this Tycho Brahe was later analyzed by his assistant, whose name is Johannes Kepler. He could extract from the data three elegant laws. So, whatever the data which he analyzed, from that data he got three important laws, and we know those laws as Kepler laws. The three laws that he derived from the data, those laws are known as Kepler laws. These laws were known to Newton and enabled him to make a greater scientific leap in proposing his universal law of gravitation. So, these Kepler laws helped Newton in analyzing the things with more detail, and then it also helped him to propose his universal law of gravitation. So, basically, Kepler law was like a foundation law. So, in the next part, we are going to study about these Kepler laws and what exactly these Kepler laws says. So that is very much important, and we'll study those laws in the next part.